What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Methos Cushionata from the channel Frost and Fist, and welcome to this Friday night live stream. Now you can probably see here, I'm going lone wolf tonight. Freak is actually in a Christmas program right now, and they've got a live dress rehearsal tonight for tomorrow's big show. So, he's out doing his musician thing, and he's going to put on an awesome show. But hopefully I can do the same and bring you guys a pretty awesome show tonight as well. Now, a couple things to warn you about, in addition to not having the amazing freakaliciousness here, is, of course, I'm brand new to doing this streaming setup. And so Freak did a lot of work with me this week, making sure that, I could get like the frame right and my setup on OBS right for streaming and stuff like that. So I had a lot of his help and guidance with that, which I really appreciate. But with that, I didn't have enough time to learn, and I really buckled down and tried. But there's just so much to learn with, streaming OBS to YouTube and all that good stuff. So I didn't get a chance to learn how to do like the chat overlay, the two-person overlay, and all that good stuff. So I wasn't able to invite on any guests, nor would I want to invite along a guest just for me to try and Mickey Mouse my way through trying to figure things out and not have it done properly. I would really like to, actually understand what I'm doing and not mess things up when inviting a guest on, because I really want to respect our guest time and that they spend with us and try and do it right. Much to my chagrin, that we had the amazing legend Edic Beer on one time, and this had all kinds of problems with that stream. And for someone that I idolized so much in this hobby, it was a huge embarrassment to not be able to give a legend like Edic Beer, the treatment he deserved, So I want to make sure that I don't want to invite on any guests doing me hosting the setup until I understand what I'm doing. Anyways, so like I said, this is my first time running this setup. Can you guys hear me? Is things okay? You guys let me know. Taking a look at the chat, we got 3 total watching, and my stream health is already orange. So that's another warning I wanted to give you guys, is so we did a couple tests earlier, and you guys know how it goes. When you're with your mechanic, the car acts fine, but when you get away from the mechanic, the car starts acting a little questionable. So when Freak was helping me out the other night, everything looked good, but we did a couple of tests earlier tonight, myself and Lady Lily, and I was having some stream issues, a little bit of lag, a little bit of pausing here and there. My stream health dipped into the red a few times, and even stopped and paused a couple of times. So, I'm hoping I can get through tonight's stream with no lag issues, no drop in quality. I want it to be a good stream, but you guys let me know if you got if I start if there start to be problems. I don't even know why I'm asking you to tell me though, because thinking about it, I don't know what corrections I can make. Other than did you turn it off and turn it on again, which I tried earlier, that seems to be the only thing I know to do. And when Freak and I were going through this the other night, we already put all our settings at like 0 latency and stuff like that, and and my processing power is not as strong as Freak's computer, but doing the best with what we can. We put in all the settings and stuff like that to try and make it go as smoothly as possible. So hopefully that continues here today. But we will see, guys. We got Brother Zane in the chat that says hello. Good to see you, my man. And let's take a look here to see what we see. So guys, I have some hobby progress this week. Not as much as I would like, because you guys know how it goes. When work starts to get ready for Christmas and stuff like that, it can definitely be a busy time at work. When work starts to get ready. Oh goodness. But it can definitely be a busy time at work, as everybody tries to cram their last minute projects and stuff like that. Now I've got still a good 24 projects on my plate that I need to finish before the end of the year. It's pretty crazy. Thomas, my brother Hellchild says, what's howling? Gamecraft Dragon says, yo. And Oni says, taking a break from working on my computer. That's awesome. Zane says, he out there stripping, wearing a Santa hat, making that cash money. Hey, I didn't say what kind of Christmas presentation it was or production it was. You know, we do have the side gig at Chippendales. You're all good? Good. I'm glad that things are coming through clearly. Turn it off, turn it on, press all the buttons, drip some holy oil into the keyboard and say a prayer. Yeah, I've tried my AdMech chants, so hopefully, you know, it'll do, you know, what it's supposed to do. So we've got some incense, nice and incense lit, massage oils, massage gently and lovingly into the keyboard. You know, as I've said a few prayers to the Omnissiah, so, you know, hopefully everything goes the way it's supposed to go. Now, what little hobby I did get done this week, Zane's got a new side job that I'll never believe. I'll be interested to hear about that. So this week, what I've done is hop over so I can see my live cam. So I had the shields done on these last week, these veterans on bikes, right? Little tribal shield there. So what I've done this week is I've started some work on the meteor hammers. There we go. So like the leather wrapping is done, the metal at the top and bottom of the handle is done. Did the arm guards. You know, I decided to do the red on the arm guards just to add a pop of color there. And even then I toned it back. It came out too bright then, but then I did all the spikes black, and I'm feeling that vibe. So red armor on the gauntlets with black spikes. I've done some black on the chains, and then next time I break out the airbrush, I'm going to go in with some Vallejo Imperial Blue, my favorite blue ever to work with, and I'll transition that up some of the black of the chain, and then I'll go in with some Tech-Less Blue around the head of the Thunder Hammer, and then I'm going to finish off with a little bright blue sheen by Instar. It's my favorite for doing my White Scar power effects. And that'll be my brightest spots, and then a little dry brush of blue, and kind of get my airbrush power weapons that I like. So got 5 of those to do, and that's it, guys. Just the weapon arm really has been my whole hobby focus this week. Oh, also, since you last saw, so I needed points. You know, Chapter Proof came out, and so I was left over with some points in my list last week. And plus, you know, Freak and I were planning a 1,400 point game, and you know, he's trying to take some new goodies. You know, the stuff like his Centurions and his aggressors and stuff like that. He's trying to get into the new Imperial Fist hotness. So trying to incorporate that new stuff into his list. He said, hey, he couldn't get it down past, I think, 1480. So I suddenly had points extra that I needed to put into my list. So I took with one of my Assault Marines, and he got a field promotion. So so I'm using this chain glaive from the Night Lords, because, you know, the White Scars, I tend to think, and I've seen a lot in the artworks, they use, you know, like the glaives, you know, such as the Naginata style glaives and stuff like that. They use a lot of those. And so instead of just having a normal chain sword to be my eviscerators in my Assault Marines, I decided to use a chain glaive, which I think looks pretty cool. And I wanted one of each, so I've got one that's going to be a regular eviscerator, right? But then I've got one that's got the chain glaive look to it, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. But he got a field promotions, and suddenly I had 85 points to spend. And so this turned into a lieutenant with jump pack and the Teeth of Terror relic, which actually served me really well. And yeah, that actually he was definitely a stud in that game. Until, of course, he failed his charge and got left out in the open and got shot to death. That was kind of hilarious. But you guys will see more as we do the battle report. It turns out, by the way, we hit up every game store in the local area, and they packed solid. I guess everybody trying to get in their end of the year games. They were all packed solid. We ended up having to come back to my place, and we did a battle on a coffee table. So we didn't actually have a full-size table to play on just because all the gaming stores were so packed. That was pretty crazy. So instead of bringing you guys a nice, somewhat professional battle report for our end-of-year battle report, it's going to be just a very casual, two bros hanging out, battle on a coffee table, which we're still really stoked about. All right, did he bribe you, D? Huh? Oh, I basically run and moderate D's Patreon Discord. That's pretty awesome. Congrats on the promotion, my brother. Oh, the chat was broken and now it's back. Ugh. Roxas is in the chat. What up, my brother? What is the name of the fig that the hammer and shield come from? That is a Null Warrior from Reaper Bones. What happened? It said live stream offline. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Is I don't know if it's my internet or just that my hardware is struggling. But as we were testing earlier today, I kept having drops in the stream health and a little bit of latency issues. So hopefully that'll clear up. If it keeps being a problem, though, we'll see what we can do about it. Alright, so I got some things refreshed. Did everything stop for you guys? I was talking a little bit about our game. I don't know if things stopped in general or if I just had a little bit of lag. You guys let me know. Am I back? Did it crash? Have I been talking to myself for a while? May have been talking to myself for a while. Alright, until I hear something, I guess I'll just soldier on and keep talking. But you guys let me know if things are working again. Oof. Alright, so anyways. It's working now. Okay, cool. So Big D asked, where did my meteor hammers and shields come from? These are from Null Warriors, from Reaper Bones miniatures. And actually, here's still one that's like half operated on. So still need to get one of my meteor hammers for my sergeant, but what I ended up rolling with for the sergeant, and I like the fade from black to red here, but lag again. Okay, cool. No, man, I can't believe Big D trusted you. I can't believe Big D trusted you with his Discord, but you know what? I'm playing, man. You're a good guy. Get a little zany sometimes, but I definitely know, man, you're going to rock it running his Discord. So far, I figured I wanted to have, just experimenting around. So I figured I'd try out having my sergeant, who can't have a shield, by the way, which I thought was a little weird. So I put a Stormbolter on him, and I decided to trying to have one non... okay, well, apparently I'm not going to be able to show the color that well. But it's a nice little transition from red to black on the head of the axe there. But I decided to try having one non-unwieldy weapon in case I needed to chop through some troops or something like that. So I've got a power axe, and I think it looks good with the model. It's a chain axe from one of the Cataphracti, or no, not the Cataphracti, one of the Tartaros Terminator sets. You guys know me. I enjoy chopping apart, Forge World kits just for conversions and stuff like that, because that's what I do. And so anyways, I think the Tartaros axe looks pretty good with that. Archer says, "You sexy ninja. Welcome to the chat, our awesome Frost and Fish Smash Captain." So no Emo this week either. Unfortunately, Emo is at the production with Freak. So hopefully he'll be able to bring back, I'm finding a great amusement of, Emo at a holiday production. So we'll see, what if there are any interesting anecdotes that Emo brings back from being part of the holiday scene. Sorry about the camera bounce. Just noticed that the camera's kind of cutting off the top of my head. So you still need to do a showcase on that Smash Captain. Actually, absolutely, yeah. So I had some recording issues. I got the pictures and the spin around of that Raven Guard Smash Captain. So now that Freak's got me hooked up with this OBS set here, I'll be able to do a proper intro and outro to showing the model as well. Before I was having camera issues and I couldn't get that, intro recorded. And anytime that I was trying to use OBS before, it would work for about, a minute and a half and shut down on me. But Freak's got that fixed now. OBS is working. Got a little bit of lag here in the stream, but it's definitely working. If it's able to do the stream, it's definitely going to be able to let me sit down and do the recording for that intro so I can crank out that Raven Guard Smash Captain showcase. You mean you didn't get Richard to build something? Richard to build something for what? Because I have Richard building a ton of stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to working on some of that awesome plastic crack whenever it gets here. Gamecraft Dragon says, asking for a friend. Absolutely, man. If you want to do some similar conversions, man, feel free to steal the idea. I think he's being a smartass with your aversion to building stuff. I absolutely do hate building stuff, but do what it do. So that is really as far as I guess I made a little headway on my Apothecary on bike. He's kind of blue tacked together at the moment. I'm gonna try and put a little paint down on him tonight. But yep, my Apothecary on bike actually ended up being a really good player in the game Saturday. So he brought back one of my veterans with the Storm Shield, so that's extra survivability. He went back over and I had these. He put a wound back, or he put some wounds back on my lieutenant with the Teeth of Terra, and brought him back up to full health one round, and a couple other rounds. There was some, jumpy dude. Oh no! Don't crash on me. Oh, my latency's all in the red. Okay. Yes, our Smash Captain is Raven Guard. So that is latency again. Okay, so yeah, so Archer was our winner of our third quarter giveaway, and so every quarter we're doing a giveaway for our Patreons that are Wolf Guard level or above, and they get put into a drawing, and if they win, they get a model from either Frost or Fist on this channel. So being that Archer was our winner for a third quarter, I actually had a Raven Guard Dark Fury that I said, bro, I got something for you. I think this would make a great Smash Captain. And I even used the Dark Fury relic claws, because I think that would be great relic claws for a Raven Guard Smash Captain. And so that's why I painted up and sent over, and we're going to be doing a showcase on him very soon. Like I said, now that my OBS and stuff is working, I'll be able to get back to cranking out showcases. So this is going to be good. For about my last showcase I did for Space Wolves, I actually had to borrow a camera to be able to crank out that showcase, but everything's going to be good now. Inquisitor Dane says, did you see how Weatherpig passed you over for a nomination for his thing he's doing with Spect? Totally trash talking you. You know, YouTube drama inbound, everyone. Man, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. You know, I did call him out for drilling his gun barrels, and last week again when I did the Weatherpig point. You know, so I have called him out a few times. I'm not surprised that I'm getting a little trash talked. It's all gravy, baby. Gamecraft Dragon starting his Iron Hands, and a Secret Santa got him the Codex and a flyer. Nice. Which flyer, my man? Which flyer did you get? That's really cool. He picked Freak over me. You know what? I'm not surprised. You know, a little trash talk. I'm not surprised he likes Freak more than me, but that's all right. Sometimes my mouth gets me in trouble. It's all good. In fact, my entire married relationship is based on the fact that my mouth gets me in trouble.
Yeah, you're lucky you're cute.
I'm lucky I'm cute, y'all. That's cool, though. I'm looking forward to seeing what Freak does showing off his best painted models. That's going to be very cool. And I would like to get in on that. Maybe somebody will nominate your Wolf Brother. All right, so those have been my immediate hobby projects. And, you know, this week I actually haven't gotten in any other kind of hobby, I don't think. You know, I didn't get to, you know, every week usually I play Magic or Duel Monsters. I didn't get to play any cards this week. I haven't really had a chance to play any video games, so no KOTOR, nothing this week. Just been, like I said, I've been on the road almost all week, you know, 10, 12 hours a day trying to do client meetings, safety meetings, you know, just different stuff all over the place. So I sounded disappointed. Sounded disappointed what? That I didn't get nominated? I mean, you know, it would be cool to participate in a community thing. I'm not going to do a response video just to call them out. I think I've called them out enough. You know, but maybe somebody else will nominate me. Maybe Freak will nominate me. Or maybe Freak will nominate somebody, or Spect will nominate somebody that will nominate me. No, I'm not going to start any YouTube drama, Zane. That's all good. It's all gravy. Besides, starting drama by doing things like calling him out with the gun barrels and the Weatherpig point. That's how I got into this predicament to begin with, right? So, we're not going to perpetuate any drama. It's all gravy. Or maybe I will. Grinch-style Christmas drama. Stormhawk, Big D. That is awesome. And give me your account login for the channel. I got this. You get one promotion, Zane, and he goes to your head. Stormhawk Interceptor. Those things are cool, man. What is this hobby you speak of? You know what? Normally I would agree, Thomas, my brother, but actually I do know that you have gotten, you know, normally I would agree because, you know, you work so much. However, this time I got to disagree a little bit because you may be busy as balls, you know, working your 342 hours a week, but I did see that you've done some really awesome kit bashing lately. And so, you know, there's definitely some hobby going on over at the Hellworks. In fact, let me make sure I capture some pictures, some of those pictures. That way we can show people what the Hellchild's got going on. Especially since there's not a ton of GW news this week, so there's going to be a lot of Art of the Week here. Which is all gravy. If I can get my phone to cooperate. My internet says it's doing a lot right now, running the stream. What am I doing to it? It's protesting. Alright, so we're going to make sure we go over to the Space Wolves page. By the way, Brother Thomas posts some good work over on the Warhammer 40K Space Wolves page. So if you want to check out Brother Thomas's Hellworks by Hellchild's work, he posts there quite a bit. When he's got time to hobby, like I said, he does work, 485 hours a week, so, doesn't have a ton of time for hobby, but when he does get to hobby, man, he makes it good. So that's cool. Stop using that crapcast internet, you'll be happier. So funnily, even though Houston is a really big city, just depending on where you live around Houston, you usually get one internet option. So, yeah, it's kind of one company option here. Man, and this particular company has done so badly with the internet service around here. Our brother Ethan, which it's gotten better now, but our brother Ethan sometimes will just disconnect randomly during raid for no reason, and he's on the same company that we're using. And man, we have all been pissed at this internet, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, it is not Crapcast. It's Suddenlink. So we're using a different company, but man, it's still not great. I was thinking it's Freak's thing, but can we get some sexy clap for the boys in the chat? Not Frontier or Windstream, but Suddenlink. Also, I don't have the sound bite for the sexy claps. I apologize. I suppose I should get the sexy clap so that way I could be prepared. Suddenlink is garbage. You're preaching to the choir, brother. You're preaching to the choir. And normally it's not that bad for us here. We don't get as randomly disconnected as, say, our brother does. However, it's got its moments where it's just like, it's just enough internet. It's the thing. It's not like total garbage for us. It's more like it's just enough or almost not quite enough, Just enough to leave us slightly underperforming. And I have definitely been killed a few times in raid to sudden lag spikes. Like, why didn't you dodge that? Why didn't I dodge what?
There it goes.
Oh, there it is. There's my body flying. Sweet. Okay, I've got the pictures here of Brother Thomas with his amazing kit bashes. And we are going to steal these for Art of the Week. That way people can see what kind of capable things that Hellworks by Hellchild can do. Man, I really, really think these kit bashes you've done this last round, man, look amazing. I can't wait to see you start to paint them. It's funny because I'm so averse to building. I'd rather paint any day. But then I see some really gifted people like Thomas, Richard, do these just off-the-chain conversions. That just makes me wish Baby, come back. You can blame it. Oh, there we go. Alright, looks like we are back. And it's green again. It just randomly dropped me and then brought me back on. Running Bear, my man. Good to see you, Running Bear. Running Bear sent me his newest Space Wolf list he's been working on lately. Sounds pretty cool, and we even had a really cool conversation about Forge World Rapier batteries and how they perform on the battlefield. So that has been pretty cool. So now, after talking to Brother Running Bear, I kind of want to get a rapier battery. But I almost, and I had a little revelation with myself on Saturday. Just, a lot of it was dice rolls. But I had some of these Forge World units are just really good. Now, I don't know. You guys tell me. I take a lot of Forge World stuff in my list because Forge World, I just like the look of Forge World stuff, and it's the stuff I want to paint. And because it's the stuff I want to paint, it's the stuff I want to play. Like my Xiphon Interceptor. I bought it because it looked good. It's a gorgeous model, and I've always wanted one since I first laid eyes on one. A lot like the Sakaran. Another one that's just like, it's a Forge World model. It's my favorite tank in the entire GW Forge World range. It's my favorite. I think the look is amazing. I think it always wins its points back. My Xiphon Interceptor almost always doubles its points back. Now, I'm starting to think, and because it's been like every game, the Xiphon has just been a beast, doubling its points or more. I'm starting to wonder, guys, am I being that guy? Am I being the pay-to-win guy? Am I bringing too much of the good stuff? Because I honestly feel like while the Xiphon is really good, I don't feel like it's worse than some of the normal GW, the new Primera stuff like a Repulsor Executioner, but I don't know. Am I being that guy? You guys let me know. Would I be better off adding in some of this Primaris armor? Oh, hi, freak. We were just talking about you. Yeah, see, that's the thing there, guys. Freak does hate my Xiphon, and I'm actually... you just do you, boo-boo. Alright. As you are a big Star Wars fan, I can see why you love the fighter. Exactly. It gives me kind of a kind of an X-Wing kind of feel, but also there's a really old anime called The Adventures of Ultraman. And in the Adventures of Ultraman, the Earth Defense Force had a jet that looked very similar, and it always kind of reminded me of an X-Wing. It reminds me of the Adventures of Ultraman. It reminds me a little bit of Robotech, and what the Valkyries look like before they transform. I can hear you, but no pick? Huh. That's weird. Check on. I know it says everything is green lit. I don't know what's going on. Okay, it just says refresh your page, Thomas. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, I love the way the thing looks, and I'm definitely not taking the Xiphon to try and be OP. So anyways, my army is starting to get to be around a playable level. Like I said, I had 1,485 points to play with on Saturday. So it's getting big enough to where I can start substituting some things out. And I've got coming soon an Invictus War Suit that I've ordered, and a Contemptor Dreadnought White Scars that I've ordered. And so now that I can start mixing moving some stuff around, I'm starting to think maybe I should replace the Xiphon. And just because it's always super efficient. And I'm not just talking about my last game. Against my Imperial Guard games, it was definitely, blowing up tanks left and right. Especially with Doctrines. Putting a quad las cannons on something that's, minus 1 AP, so there's no save on most vehicles. It definitely feels like maybe it's getting to be a little, I'm starting to feel a little cheesy. Because, like I said, every game it is just like doubled my refund back. Forge World is Games Workshop, so play what you want. Right on. Yeah. Anyways, I was just thinking about it because I was thinking about when I was talking with Running Bear, I was like, man, those rapier batteries sound cool, and I was like, wait a minute, how much Forge World is going in my list? Am I starting to be that guy? I've got the Leviathan. Eventually, I want to get not because. And I don't plan on doing, unless I go to a tournament or anything like that, I don't plan on doing the whole double storm cannon, high efficiency build. I just want the new Leviathan because it's 4 white scars. You know, they have a special white scars one, and I think it looked cool in my army. Except for the white scars Leviathan has that hammered brass kind of look on the chest. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm probably going to paint that a different color. That hammered beaten brass look is, I don't know. I think probably going to change that up a little bit in the color scheme. But yeah, it's just having a white scar specific Leviathan. Again, it's not because I'm trying to, you know, be Forge World guy and just, you know, dominate my field, but it's a cool white scars model, and I want to kind of play it. Rule of cool, absolutely. So that's kind of the way I feel. I'm just, and I'm sure that if I were really trying to cheese it, and anybody could say this, but a lot of the Forge stuff looks cool, in my opinion, personally. It looks cooler than the normal stuff, and therefore that's the stuff I want to paint. I only use Rapier Battery and Chaplain Dreadnought from Forge World, so I think it is cool. I have been hearing about, you know, some of our White Scars brethren. We have a encirclement stratagem, lets you put 1 unit, whereas with Space Wolves, you put somebody on the hunt, it's got to be an infantry unit that comes in from outflank. With White Scars, you can do it with everything. So I've seen some guys who actually taken White Scars to tournaments, and it seems to be pretty popular to do the double Storm Cannon Leviathan and put it on the encirclement and bring it up on somebody's back edge table board with, you know, that 18-inch range Storm Cannon and just annihilate people's back row, which definitely seems like it could be effective, but I could definitely, you're looking at 20 shots on somebody's back line. I think all strength 7 if I'm right. I could see where, you know, in a friendly game that somebody would stop having a good time there, and that's definitely what I don't want to do. So I would probably take my Leviathan and something, I don't know, a claw in one hand and something else. Maybe the Storm Cannon, maybe Grav, I don't know, something on the other hand. But I just want to get one really just to pay it up. I guess another thing, I'm so glad that Freak has helped me out with this OBS thing, because I want to do that Raven Guard Smash Captain on a showcase, and I really want to do a showcase on the Xiphon, because the Xiphon I feel like came out really prettily, so I want to show you guys how good it looks, especially with Freak's tutorial on the canopy, his tutorial work on the canopy, where it does like the reflection of light. It looks so cool, and it really makes, I think having a nice dark canopy with those lines on it just really makes the whole thing pop. So got to do a showcase on that soon. Got a whole bunch of stuff actually we've been painting lately. I've never done a showcase on my own Wolf Lord. I need to do that. And, you know, a bunch of other White Scar stuff that I've painted up. I have a Captain on a Thunderwolf, and the wolf is from Forge World, and it's one of my favorites. I get it. Thank you, thank you. The Wolf Lord is actually a Varigear Terminator from Forge World as well. I still use old Wolfen models as I think they look way better. Absolutely, you know what, everything looks cool. Rule of cool. And now I'm going to go into some rule of cool as I start out Art of the Week, because I think I've rambled on enough about hobby updates. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to scene transition. Let me make sure. Awesome. Okay. Whale. Crap. Oh, this internet just randomly shut down my page that I had these pictures on. Alright. I think I'm back. Welcome back. Okay, cool. Later, Zane. Sorry about the technical issues, man. Running Bear says, I think the Gremlins are out early this Christmas season. Alright. Just, you may be alive. Congrats. Thank you. OBS just crashed on me. Thankfully, I was able to get it up again real quick before, you know, the stream stopped, and I had to start and open up another one. All right, I'm going to attempt to transition over to Art of the Week again, and hopefully it doesn't make anything crash. All right, so starting off Art of the Week, right, and Rule of Cool is Brother Thomas over at Hellworks by Hellchild, and this is from the Warhammer 40k Space Wolves page, and this is some of his awesome conversions. So again, first of all, I love the Mark III armor. I love the shoulder pad, and the sword and shield just look really awesome together. Another angle, sword and shield together. Such really cool conversions. This guy with the double lightning claws. Or wolf claws, I mean. Methos made us feel no pain. Or do gremlins look like they may be fun, and I am not your supervisor? Alright, checking out some more of these. Another angle. For some reason, I really feel like the eye patch really and the iron pauldrons, definitely with the rivets and everything, I think that really makes this model too. This one I think is my favorite out of his kit bashes in this set. Double axes, got the artificer armor on. Plus, this is, you know, the Mark III style shoulder pads with the heavy rivets and stuff like that, and the big wide bands of steel on the edges, big borders. Those are my favorite kinds of shoulder pads. This is the ones with the big borders. The scar on the eye. This is my favorite of his kit bashes in this set. Oh man, I wish I had a picture of his Wolf Priest to hand to show you guys. I've also just always loved the idea of double single axes in tandem. Definitely played my share of Dragon Age characters that were double axes like that. No! Not more technical issues. God damn it! Please reconnect. Please reconnect. Please reconnect. Methos, stop spilling water on them. They multiply that way. Alright, guys. I believe myself to be back. Maybe.
It doesn't say live stream at home.
He fed the Mogwai. Okay. Alright, I believe myself to be back. Can y'all hear me? So everything says green. I believe myself to be up and running again. Cool. I think if it crashes another time or two, I may just call it early, and we will see, guys. So are we talking Gremlins 1 or Gremlins 2? That's a good idea. All right, that's a good point. All right, so this guy here with the eviscerator, I think is cool. I like the knee forward, like he's really stepping into a slash there. Pretty cool. And you know what? I never really liked these leather masked guys on my own, but actually seeing it on Brother Thomas's work, they look pretty cool. I wish I had a picture of his Wolf Priest to hand, because I think that one came out extra awesome. I may also be a little biased. So those are some pretty awesome and epic conversions and kit bashes from Brother Thomas. Hell Works by Hellchild there. Now I'm going to go all the way back up, and we'll do some more art of the week. Wow, I would start this off with one. Usually Freak is really good at knocking out these names. And I am not as good as Freak at knocking out these names, but I'm going to give it an attempt. Let's see, Vadim Kaplokov. Yeah, we'll go with that. But this is really cool white scars. Looks like a veteran intercessor, because if you'll notice, we got the red border on the shoulder pad here, noting him as a veteran. Plus, I feel like the extra cool helmet from the Reavers makes for a great, identifier as a veteran as well. But really cool. Check out the chipping and the weathering there on the leg plates. Very cool looking. Again, I've never been a huge fan of weathering. I'm a little too vain. I probably think the song is about me, right? But I think it looks really cool on this guy's work. Look at Brother Thomas coming in like a champ. So this is his Wolf Priest. Oh. Wrong direction, guys. Wrong direction. All right, so check that out. I think that is so cool. I love the Ulrich body and the Ulrich cape. I love the... he's got the Crozius right there with the really cool wolf skull there. The backpack. But he's got the Deathsworn helm that looks so cool on there. And he's got that frost axe on the side there. I think this is such a cool Wolf Priest conversion. This is one of my favorite things he's ever converted. And that's me again. That's me again. Y'all, I'm just going completely off script here. You're up, you're back. Gamecraft Dragon never lost you. That's weird. Alright, cool. Alright, so got Thomas's stuff there. I'm showing y'all all my business. So let's jump back over here. Get some of these great pieces of art this week. Oh, what I was saying is that Wolf Priest is one of my favorites, and Brother Thomas honored me because he's decided to call that his Wolf Priest Methos as well. So that's pretty awesome. This is from, and I'm sure it'll be in there somewhere. This is from Brother Clayton. Okay, 33 Clay Dog, I want to say. But Brother Clayton in the chat all the time, in the Eating Beers Unification group as well. This is his completed Mephiston aside from the basting. Brand new Mephiston, and man, he has done some really killer work here. Check that out. So clean. I'm going to see if I can zoom in just a little. Check that out. Clean work on the plasma. I mean, really detailed work on the face. Look at the highlights on the cloak and all that. I mean, just really cool work. Again, every feather is highlighted. All the ripples in his chest armor, you know, even if you look at the old models, it's always been like a rippled kind of texture on Mephiston's armor, and he's highlighted every bit of those ripples. Look at them abs. I could have abs like that if I wanted to. I just like food too much. Again, look at that. Such clean work. Look at how it's black here in the recesses, but it all reads as red, and then you even have that beautiful orange kind of highlights. The work on the skull on his shoulder, very cool. Still giving him that really badass vampire aesthetic. Blood angel symbol, and look at that. Just it's not overly done. It's just a bit of energy just blazing off the sword where it meets those little power conduits there. That's awesome. He looks sexy from the back too. Love the highlighting on that black cloak. That is such pro work there. It still reads as black, but man, it's got all kinds of highlights and shades on it. Gorgeously done. Just the whole thing just looks absolutely epic. And there again, you can find Brother Clayton at the Edict Beer Wargamers Unification Group, and he's Clayton Bieber in that Wargamers Unification Group. So check him out. Or oot, depending. Oi there! We got a Dazrock in the house. That is awesome. Out of spray paint, Methos? I've got some around. Why do you ask? Dazrock, good to see you. Running Bear says, nice job, Clayton. Absolutely. You really rocked this one. He also says, nice work, Hellchild. Oh, get your abs that way. You're right. I can definitely airbrush some abs onto me. That'd be hilarious. All right, moving on to our next piece. Oh my goodness. This one just looks unreal. This definitely looks like somebody, I don't know, either drew him on a portrait or on a computer or something. So this is on Facebook. If you look up, I think it's Black Demon Studios. Black Demon just really knocked this out of the park. Look at, I mean, the different silver work here, right? The shading and highlighting, the different blues represented on the Ultramarines there. And it's funny because like the black of the Deathwatch armor, you know, it looks you know, like black armor. You know, it definitely, aside from some really good shading and highlighting, you know, it's not that far above normal, but it's what it is in relation to everything else, right? The black armor really makes this blue, all the different tones of blue here just absolutely pop, you know. And again, same thing with these silvers, you know. It really makes all the silver pop, so you can see every rune and detail there in the armor. And the sword, oh my god, so the glow of the sword, I mean, it really looks like a light source, and he's done a phenomenal job catching the reflection all along the armor bits, whether it's the silver, the black of the armor. I mean, it really looks like something catching candlelight in the dark, right? Reflecting off the black of the leg armor there, This knee here, I mean, that was really well thought light placement. I'm not even an art guy, but I know what looks good to me, to my senses, right? I can appreciate that there's a lot of technical stuff I don't understand going on here, and it looks amazing. The way that, like, normally cool colored cobblestone captures all this warmth here, right? That's incredible. That definitely looks like a power sword that could cut through somebody. That's just incredible, absolutely incredible. I love how every single feather in this helmet here is shaded and highlighted. And just look at the eyes. Really burning, penetrating eyes that can stare into your soul. You know, very cool. I mean, everything about this is awesome. This, like I said, this really looks like it's something not painted on a miniature, but like, I don't know, painted on canvas, painted on a computer. I don't know. It looks like it definitely, looks like art that I would hang on my wall. Hey Methos, thanks for the heads up on the shout out. So I'd like to throw a quick shout out over to JamJar34 over at the Hobby Kitchen, right? JamJar34 recently did a shout out for the Gamecraft Dragon, Big D, and the Lady Dragon. And just giving some of that love back, go check out JamJar himself. So he does a paint and chat along. He calls it it's the Hobby Sunday, right? I want to say it's the Hobby Sunday. The funny thing about that is that it's not always on a Sunday. It's sometimes a Wednesday, sometimes a Thursday, right? But because he started out doing the show on Sundays, he continues to call the show the Hobby Sunday. So it's pretty cool. Go check him out, though. JamJar34, really good guy. And he's thrown some love out towards the Gamecraft Dragon. Going on to our next piece of art. The Killer Wolf. So check this out. I just thought this was a cool conversion. And I know like the basing's not done and stuff here, but just because I thought the conversion was cool, I just wanted to go ahead and capture that. He's done a really great job capturing, the red hair, orange. It's still in its, in its depths and shadows. It still reads as brown and red. So he's done a great job with that. I love the effects on the frost axe. I love this conversion too. A one-handed double bit axe, it just looks great. I love the shield that goes with that. I think I've seen that on Shapeways. I'm pretty sure that's a Shapeway shield. But I just thought the conversion was really cool. Progress on my Primaris / Capitan. So, very cool. And I've noticed, so you guys probably know that with the new chapter proof points and stuff like that, right? And with the release of the recent Space Marines Codex, characters on their Thunderhammers have gone up to like 40 points, right? They're way more expensive, and that's because Smash Captains with jump packs and hammers and shields have been so prominent in our gameplay, right? And so with that, a lot of people are ditching their Thunderhammer Smash Captains, and for Space Wolves, they've been replacing it with one of the relic axes. And I want to say it's the relic axe that they've been picking that comes with the Vigilus Defiant. The relic you can get out of the Vigilus book. And so a lot of people have been turning to that, with a relic axe instead of a Thunderhammer. Seems pretty cool, but I don't know. I just really like my Thunderhammer Storm Shield combo. This next one, someone whose channel I've been following for a while. The channel's been up, it's been down, he's jumped over to Twitch, he's come back, he's taken breaks for, of course, I say breaks, but, for college, of course, for bettering his life. And just always, just been a really cool guy in the community to me. Always enjoyed watching Alex Attempts Tabletop. And his Instagram is the same or virtually the same as his YouTube channel. I definitely recommend checking out his YouTube channel, Alex Attempts Tabletop. And, it used to always be, he'd say, Alex Attempts Tabletop. You know, it used to knock on the tabletop. Always found it very endearing. He's come out with a new Word Bearers quick paint color scheme. And this is going to be what he's looking to be his 2020 Warhammer 40k army. So he's got his test run done now. And starting 2020, he's looking to actually kick out a whole 40k army of Word Bearers. And it looks really good. Absolutely looks good. And actually, so I'm looking at a color scheme like this too, because the Order of the Bloody Rose is mostly a corn red color base as well. So I'm going to be painting up a very similarly colored army. And Alex actually has done a little tutorial released yesterday, I want to say. Might have been today. Of him doing this color scheme. So if you want to check that out, go check out Alex Sims Tabletop. Catch up on El Chato again. I hear that there's going to be a major GW announcement at the LVO. I mean, they've been really rocking it. Consistent, updated announcements. So definitely interested to see. That's a 3D printed body. Cool. All right, so this was sent over to me from the Weather Pig, and I thought this was awesome. And he knows that I like Gundam, so I'm pretty sure that's why he sent it over to me. And these are Primaris Marines done up, as a throwback to the old school Zaku suits of the original Mobile Suit Gundam series. So really cool. I love the look. 2 more of the #Zaku. So yeah, absolutely. This is such a cool throwback. And it really looks great. It looks effective. And they do look like Zaku. Love the edge highlighting here. It really makes it pop. And I love that they did the basing on that, dirty red Martian sand basing. Because, again, it just really reminds me of the show. And the freehand, straight from the anime. So, Federation logos, crisp, very crisp. Man, I love it. Such a good throwback. I'm thinking these pieces got to be 3D printed. But either way, whether 3D print or not, I mean, just very cool conversions. Like I said, really gives me some nostalgic feelings for some Gundam. Go back and check the chat. Oh, on Kill a Wolf. Gotcha. With the / captain. Oni Studio says Zaku's. I see another Gundam fan there. All right. Moving right along with Art of the Week. So check this out. This was posted up by Raging Heroes, but it says, looks like credits given to Ignis Art, but this is their Dark Elf Sorceress. And man, so first of all, gorgeous model, but man, look at that paint job. They have really, really nailed that pale, that very pale elven kind of flesh, especially like, I just think it really fits the aesthetic of the sorceress. And then, so you've got the contrast is amazing here too, because you've got some really dark rocks, but really bright water at the bottom, right? Really dark rocks and some dark leg armor, really bright staff. Very, very pale skin, pale hair. Really, again, a good pop of color from that cape there. And even I think all this dark and pale of the skin and armor really pops out. The eyes, the jewelry on this elf. I mean, just phenomenal work here. Oh my God, this is the kind of stuff I wish I could do when I grow up. I mean, this is just amazing. I mean, I feel like just this paint job alone, whoever painted this up, Ignis art, I imagine. I mean, this probably sold a few extra Dark Elves for Raging Heroes. In fact, I want this model now. Do I play any fantasy? Not even a little bit, but I want one of these because she is gorgeous. Just really, really well done. Plus, I love the little combination here of like the dark armor, but the color transition and fade to the icy blues at the edges. Very cool. Just everything about this particular piece is amazing. And I wonder if I could use this Dark Elf Sorceress with some Daughters of Cain, you know, as a stand-in for one of the models there. I mean, you can, as long as you're playing friendly games, you can proxy anything, right? But I think it fit the theme pretty well. Running Bear says, make it into a D&D character. Yeah, that's another good idea. All right, next for Art of the Week, I have a bunch, and I mean a bunch of submissions from Brother Brian over at Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak. I really appreciate how much he's been contributing to Art of the Week lately. He's been very active. This one is from Warp Storm Painting. And check out this 30K Death Guard Terminator with a Man Reaper. That's so cool. Oh, it's a Typhon. I didn't realize it was Typhon. I guess I'm so used to seeing Typhon's 40K model. So Typhon, the first captain of the Death Guard Legion. That is so cool. And look, I mean, so much tasteful weathering, right? Not just thrown on there. Tasteful weathering. So much contrast, you know, dark areas, then light areas, dark areas, then light areas. Definitely, like, leaps and bounds beyond my skill. Looks so great. That face. That detail on the face. Just incredible. Next here we have several submissions by Shrek Painting. He's an ogre, but don't grab your torches and pitchforks because this guy does some hella clean work. Check this out. You know, you've got, again, some light, tasteful weathering, scratches, beat up armor, stuff like that. But look at that power sword. The reflections are so clean. The lightning bolts. That's a hell of a Black Templar there. From the front, looks like we probably got some incense burning here. Such a cool Primaris captain here. Oh, and I didn't even notice at first the silver arm and shoulder pad. So this guy is probably a Death Watch captain. Gosh, that is one of the most beautiful power swords. That's so cool looking. And I like that the edge highlighting is almost dotted along all the hard edges here, which gives it a very, like, it's edge highlighted, but also got a nice weather-worn kind of look. And then look at those transitions from almost black to really bright red here in the folds of the cape. Oh, again, just amazing work. Another Death Watch captain. He's done up a Corsaro Khan as a Death Watch captain. I think that's amazing. And you don't even have to remove, you know, the White Scars iconography, because he can just be a captain from the White Scars Legion, right? Also, again, Shrek paintings. So cool. And I think, you know, making this a blackbird, right? You know, a great big raven or crow, you know, really fits the Death Watch scheme here. Very cool. But just the fur, the trimmings, all the silver edges. This guy does an incredible job. And there's that same gorgeous power sword work he does. Just incredible. Checking him out from behind. Really great work on the skulls too, right? They definitely look stripped and faded, but they're definitely not like one note, white skulls. Again, lots of tonal variation in the fur, not fur, of course, being something natural, right? Not just solid colors. And again, that really gorgeous, shading and highlighting with his reds. This guy can definitely work reds. I'm going to do it. Brother Rob, we've got the TMP in the house. Really awesome. Guys, big shout out to the TMP. Actually, I mean, does the Raven Guard have boots with that fur? Well, that was a White Scars. That was a White Scars model. He has got the bird with him because he's a Corsaro Khan, but converted. We have Elstonation. Good morning, Elstonation. Good to see you, my man. Brother Rob, would you like me to plug your upcoming live show? Or do you want to keep that under wraps? And thank you. He says I sound much better this week. I really appreciate the fact that I'm not dying this week. I would much rather not be dying. But I appreciate that. Thank you for mentioning. All right, my next Art of the Week piece also is from Shrek Painting, also submitted by Brother Brian. Is going to be this guy right here. He says it's a Night Lord's Kill Team miniature. Miniature comes from the Dark Vengeance set. So, here we go. Holding his horned helmet in his hand. It's got a third eye up top. It's got a massive claw. Looks like a power fist size claw. And this guy is ready to take someone out. Very cool. It's a cool little conversion. And definitely such a cool paint job. And you guys let me know. I'm thinking, isn't that third eye up there? Isn't that all freehand? I can't think of any models, for a Space Marine head that comes with a third eye like that. So that's got to be freehand, right? You guys tell me. But yeah, that is such a cool looking Night Lord. Looking at him from the back. It's got some demon, he's got some demonic stuff going on here. It looks like a little arm coming out of a pauldron. Is that where he flayed someone maybe? Got some of that classic Night Lord's lightning. Really nice detail there. Looks like his bolter's being held in place with, is that a tentacle? Is that horns? I'm not sure. Is that a wolf? Is that a bike? This one is from Aster the Painter. Very cool. Check them out on Instagram. This is a Radiant Suns Sanson Farstrider. Now, this may be Radiant Suns, but I have to say, looking at it right off the jump, I think because this looks like a Firebird and seeing the green in the armor, I honestly thought this was a Salamander's conversion from some Stormcast Eternal, but apparently it is Radiant Suns. But either way, it looks incredible. I love the dark green to light green transitions there. Some edge highlighting in the yellow kind of color. Love the Firebird look. Just excellently done. And even the feeling of the dead wood here just looks really good. The Radiant Suns are a member of the Stormcast Eternal I hadn't heard of before. But again, I'm not an Age of Sigmar guy myself yet. I do hope to learn more about it in the future. And I really want to, get into the game at some point. Aster the Painter is from Italy. Very cool. I mean, they've done such a good job on this bird here. I really get a Firebird kind of vibe from this. Very phoenixy. I want to paint something like that. Oh, it does have a third eye. Oni Studios has the same model. Nice kit bash. Instead of that claw, it has a huge power maul. Very cool. Blue is a little too baby blue for me, but it is a gorgeous paint job. It is a much brighter Night Lord than I'm used to seeing. You're right. Sanson Farstrider. Gamecraft Dragon just finished painting his version of that guy. That's cool. Shout it out, brother. All right. So, guys, one thing I want to get you all hyped for is my brother, Rob, over at the Miniatures Paintbrush, TMP, is doing a live show next Thursday, the day after Christmas. And he's going to be doing a full deep dive of chapter approved. And he's really going, I mean, we're talking points changes, we're talking missions, we're talking about changes to Maelstrom, we're talking about just all kinds of goodness in the book. And this, Brother Rob, is, of course, not only one of the most talented painters that I know, but, I mean, he is such a focused and studious guy. I mean, we've talked a little bit about it, but this man already has 6 pages of notes going into the show. So when I say that we're going to be doing a deep dive, we're really going to be getting into the information and letting you know what's going on with chapter approved. And I think that you're not going to find a better source. Because I've tried looking around before I got my copy of chapter approved as an early Christmas gift from Brother Rob. Before I got my copy, I was looking around online through some videos trying to get a deep dive, an idea of what's going on in chapter approved, so that way I could talk about it. And nobody has, so far that I've seen, has done as good of an in-depth, like page for page kind of breakdown as Brother Rob's doing so far. So I've seen the notes, guys. I can tell you the information is going to be good. And not only have I taken a look at his notes, but we've actually started chatting back and forth a little bit about some of these changes. And, you know, what it might mean, what kind of, you know, what it's going to do for, you know, the hobby, the meta, that kind of stuff. So it's really cool stuff. And I'm really, really looking forward to being part of that chat on Thursday night. So, guys, next week, day after Christmas, you know, I think 7 p.m., I believe, is our go time. So, be looking for that, guys. Hit up the Miniatures Paintbrush. Hit that bell icon so that way you know when he goes live. And be ready for this deep dive into chapter approved. I'm really looking forward to being part of it. All right, guys, we're going to go back to Art of the Week. Oh, yeah, it's 7 o'clock Eastern Time. So that's usually I do our breakdowns in Central Time, but that's 7 p.m. Eastern Time. X-Gear Commander says, Happy freaking Friday. Indeed, my brother. Happy freaking Friday indeed. Good to see you, X-Gear Commander. All right, I think this might be my last piece of Art of the Week. And we've got Jose Da Vinci 88. Also, this is also submitted by Brother Brian from Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak. Check out this snake guy here. I mean, and this really reminded me of Brother Rob, because when Marathi came out, and he was talking about if he ever painted up a Marathi, he'd have to do a lot of studying of what actual snakes look like and what their scale patterns look like. And he'd be tempted to actually replicate something out of nature, real-life snake textures and patterns. And that's exactly what I see here. So as soon as Brother Brian showed this to me, I remembered that conversation with Brother Rob. It just looks so cool. And, I mean, it looks like, you know, any snake you might see out of National Geographics. Really, really well done. And not just the snake portion is done incredibly well, but look at that. Just such detail in the muscles, right? Every muscle is highlighted. Every muscle looks good. Like, and just incredibly well painted. The tongue, you know, the eyes and face, the face that only a mother could love, right? The bandages. I mean, look at all the shading that's gone into the bandages. Just again, the individual teeth here on the necklace. I mean, everything just looks fantastic. Really incredibly done. Again, I'm no pro at art, but man, I can tell you what I like and what looks good to me. And that stuff definitely looks good to me. Yep. And that is what I have so far. All right. So now, guys, we're going to hit a few things from GW News. And I'm going to start. All right, guys. Come back to me for a moment while I try and refresh things here. Oh, man. All right, so apparently whatever shut down my connection to YouTube earlier shut down all my pages with my news articles, but that's all right. We'll get it fixed. Getting it going right now. While those come up, check the chat. All right. So we crashed again. Like I said, I'm only going for 3 crashes, so if it happens one more time, we'll just call it a night. Really sorry about the technical difficulties got tonight, guys. I don't know. Alright, so trying to get my news articles refreshed. We'll see how that goes. Go ahead and close out Messenger so that way that's a little less memory being used, hopefully. Year in Warhammer, we'll take a look at that article if it comes up. Good, that one seems to be okay. Warhammer Christmas. That one seems to have come back okay. Close out this page. All right. Everything seems to be fixed. Chrome is a famous memory hog. All right. All right, let's go to GW News and see if that pops up. All right, it looks like it's going to be working. So, amazing axe and stunning beard. It must be a dwarf. So, longtime fans are aware Grombrindal, the white dwarf himself, has appeared in many forms. This one especially caught my eyes because you guys know your Wolf Brother is an AdMech player, and this one is a Tech-Priest Grombrindal. Sounds cool. Our hero has sworn oaths of fealty to the priesthood of Mars. In return for his loyalty, He's been blessed with augmetics, including a glorious beard full of mechadendrites and data tethers. The Adeptus Mechanicus has honored him with the trappings of a Magos, including an appropriately sized Omniscient axe, which is probably just like the top section of an Omniscient axe, but nonetheless, it looks pretty cool. Honestly, too, the way with his usual white hair and the red Admech robes, and I'm sure this is the intention, but he's got quite a good Santa Claus vibe here, especially with his little helper elf here. I mean, Grot. Lots of cool details here. I mean, and whoever they got to paint this up, I mean, look at that. Awesome, dark shaded areas, nice highlighted areas. Looks good. Looks real good. Lots of cool details, though. Now, I don't think he's going to do anything other than a Tech-Priest, I think he might be a good counts as Tech-Priest. But, of course, I'm sure this is just mostly a good collector's piece. Of course, first order of business is giving the Black Gobbo the servitor treatment. This hapless grot is the natural counterpart and nemesis of the White Dwarf, suffering yet another humiliating defeat. Very cool. He does have a pretty sweet tiny art claw, and his mind-wiped consciousness probably can't even appreciate it properly. That poor guy. Maybe that data wafer Grombrindal is about to insert will make him realize how cool his new body looks. Poor servitor Gobbo. Very cool. It's going to be available between Thursday the 26th and Sunday the 29th. It seems like a missed opportunity for it to be available after Christmas. Again, not super useful, but does seem pretty cool. Just like a little neat collectible. Sometimes that gets said about me. Not super useful, but pretty neat to have. You should pick that one up. Yeah, it would be a cool little display piece. Definitely a lot of love and care could go into painting up a piece like that, I think. Alright, we're going to black this one out and go with the next article, Warhammer 2019. Try and save on some of the memory here. We'll go ahead and close out that article. Alright, so a year in Warhammer, January to April. So I love that it's breaking down. It's probably going to be 2 articles, but here breaking down the first half of the year. What did we get? Some very cool things you can see happened over the course of this year. In January, of course, we've got the Gloom Spike Gits. And I don't play AOS myself, nor am I a big goblins kind of guy. But I can definitely appreciate how cool the models look. I mean, definitely, that just looks super cool. Again, goblins have never really been my thing. But I can appreciate just the... Let me look at it. The train of his cloak is being carried by a couple of squigs. It's just neat. It was off to a pretty flippin' fantastic start, and it got even better. So, next in February came some of the Gene Stealer Colts with all kinds of new kits and stuff like that. I really liked some of the new vehicles that came out, especially some of the bikes and the I think they're called Jackal bikes, and then of course the little dune buggies. Those things just looked really cool, Plus the female Gene Stealer Magos is just a cool looking model. It's got a very sexy body that makes me question the alien bits on her. Like, could I look past that? Anyways, it's only weird if you let that be weird. The dreaded Anvil came out, right? That's such a cool looking model. Whoever did this paint job too made it look great. And what's cool is, like, not only do I like the way the Anvil looks, I want to use it for something. I don't play Blackstone Fortress. Might want to eventually, but I'd really love to paint one of these up. But it looks super cool. And then I've been reading the Warhammer Adventure books to my little girls. And, of course, in the second book, I think Claws of the Gene Stealer, you get to meet one of these Anvils. I mean, it's a really, it's a side character more than anything, but still, it's very cool. It was cool to see it after, or reading. It was cool to read about it after it, seeing the Blackstone Fortress release. In March, there was a huge month for, the Black Legion, because Abaddon. I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. The man to inherit, Horus's power. And he got a badass model to go with it. I mean, that was a cool release. Again, I'm not a Chaos guy, but I want to paint one of these up for my son's Black Legion army. That's just super cool. Of course, during that book, Marnius Calgar almost died, but came back as Primarnius Calgar. Very cool. I love that model. I need to paint mine up eventually. I got on a White Scars kick, but I need to go back to Ultras at some point so that way I can paint up my Marnius Calgar. Okay, we saw the Angel finally come, Sanguinius. A lot of people didn't like the model, but I have to say, I find it's a very dynamic, very cool looking model, and I think it's worthy of how cool Sanguinius was. There was these weird floating bleeding skull things. Okay. That got released then. The Keeper of Secrets. Oh, another just amazing model. The swords, the overall look, the cape, the hooves, just everything about this crazy looking model just almost makes me want to say, you know what? I could learn to love Slaanesh. So overall, some very cool stuff happened this year. And I thought it was neat that they compiled a little, article on their year so far, Let's go check the chat. Let's see. Lady Dragon converted the female Magus Fig to the Imperial Guard Psyker. I know, I can't wait to see that. That's going to look amazing. Have you ever had the hots for female Tau? Man, don't let me get on here and lie to you. I have definitely seen some fan art of some Tau ladies. Yeah, I could be convinced to like Tau. If we're going purely off the fan art. Anyways, that's only awkward if you let it be awkward. Kit bashing him all night tonight. Are you talking about your, not Horus, oh my god, why am I blacking on Abaddon's name? There we go, Abaddon. Are you talking about your Abaddon? I know you're making a black wolf out of him. He says, Kit bashing him all night tonight. Roxas says, Methos falls to Slaanesh in like 10 seconds. You ain't wrong, brother. You ain't wrong. If I ever fell to a Chaos entity, it would be Slaanesh for sure. Methos likes pretty things. Methos can be easily swayed by pretty faces. These are all known quantities. So, am I a heretic when it comes to that stuff? I'm not a heretic yet. I might be able to be convinced, but I'm not a heretic yet. Okay, we're going to go on to Christmas jokes. Next GW article. We're going to close out the year in Warhammer. Again, trying to save some of this. We're going to see now that we've got some stuff closed out. We can actually load this other page I wanted to look at. And I know that this other thing I keep trying to load is a site with tons of adverts, and I'm pretty sure that's part of this that last shutdown. But we'll come back to that. So, we are just going to take that one out. All right. Warhammer Christmas cracker jokes. So Christmas is the season for caring, sharing, and of course reading terrible jokes you find in Christmas Crackers Aloud. Is that a tradition? Is that something like y'all do over in the UK? I've never heard of Christmas crackers and jokes written on crackers as far as Christmas goes. So if that is a UK tradition or something like that, y'all let me know. That'd be pretty interesting. We're happy to provide you with the following Warhammer-themed Christmas jokes. With these, you can surprise and delight your friends. Don't worry, if Ani Ethel doesn't understand why Abaddon's name has been the subject of so many terrible puns. We do, and we think it's hilarious. That's pretty cool. So, why are the Thousand Sons so bad at making pies? Because all is crust. That's so cheesy. I kind of want to check these out on the cool, though. I love me some good puns and dad jokes. Methos is like that meme with the kid and his mom, and she is all like, don't look at that thing. And in the next panel, that kid is that thing. Maybe. Except with Slaanesh. Big D says, I'm all about Slaanesh. I'd be done. You right. Again, Methos is very, very easily swayed by a pretty face, so. Brother Thomas says, still want to kit bash Marathi and keep your secrets to make for a custom profit. That'd be cool. That'd be real cool. I am still. Oh. All right, we're going to go to this. And while you guys look at my handsome face, I'm going to see if I can get that other article that I refused to load earlier. There we go. Aha! Alright, so how to make this work in the OBS. There we go. There we go. I know you guys are going to look at all the adverts and be like, that's why stuff didn't want to load. Yep. All right. So, one of the themes for tonight's show is, of course, what we want on our hobby wish list for Christmas. And you know what? I have been wanting Grey Knights to be good again for a while, especially for some of my friends that play Grey Knights. Grey Knights, I've always thought are a cool faction, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's only luck that well, no, it's more than luck, but the two things I was looking at, the top three factions I was looking at is one we don't need to talk about, but I was also looking at Grey Knights and Space Wolves when they were talking about play styles, how do you want to play, melee was the way. It was only because I saw the Thunderwolf Cavalry did I say hardcore, you know what, I like Knights, but Wolves are going to be the way. And it's a good thing I did, because unfortunately Grey Knights did get nerfed into out of existence and then back into existence again. They got so hella nerfed. And I think this would be great if they can find a way to make Grey Knights viable again. And it is allegedly in the works. So, of course, when 8th edition began, they were amazing at first, because they had the ability to just, it was a super smite army at first, and then of course they nerfed the crap out of that. They got the baby smite, they were given a lot of huge nerfs that came down to things like, of course, their already high points cost, not being able to deep strike. They lost all their speed and functionality, and of course, ever since they've been nerfed into the ground, they've had some slow steps to try and make them a little better, but it hasn't been enough. Well, this year's chapter approved, and we'll probably cover this a little more when the Miniatures Paintbrush and I actually do a deep dive into chapter approved, but this year's chapter approved helped the Grey Knights out a little bit. So they got army-wide discounts. All their characters dropped at least 25 points apiece. So you can get more characters for your buck there. Plus, Drago got cut by a whopping 60 points. And whether you like him in the stories or not, Drago is a beast on the tabletop. Like I said, everything aside from servitors, of course, but nobody takes servitors in a Space Marine army. But everything else got a discount, including every unit, every soldier, every piece of war gear. Everything got a discount. Now it was rumored for a little while that they might return Grey Knights to full-size smites. That's not true. That's not one of the buffs they got. But still having the huge points reduction is going to be a help. Paladins still look better than the Alternatives Terminator. By the way, I'm sure you guys can see it on the screen, but I want to make sure I'm shouting out my material cited right. This is a Spiky Bits article. So, and again, we all know we got to take Spiky Bits with a grain of salt whenever we read their stuff. But Paladins still look better alternative to Terminators, but Terminators, when you're taking your Grey Knights, can be taken as troops. So, get you your battalion on. Get them CPs. Heavy Incinerators got cut in half, okay, from 40 points down to 19. That's like 51% savings right there. So, I mean, that's awesome. So, I mean, on Dread Knights, this could be good. Especially if you deep strike in a Dread Knight and then light them up with that Heavy Incinerator, that could be a pretty good combo. So, pretty cool. Now, combined with rules like Shock Assaults, of course, we all know that Grey Knights are great at close combat, so getting that extra hit in close combat, that's going to be great as well. So now if they do something, and of course we know that Grey Knights came out soon after the original Space Marine Codex, so maybe they'll be one now that all the other Space Marine codexes are out. Maybe they'll be one of the upcoming codices, and maybe they'll get that Shock Assault, and maybe they'll get them some proper doctrines, something specific to Grey Knights to really make them great. New relics, new warlord traits. This could be their chance to actually get some good stuff. So this is what Spiky Bits recommends. Okay, Spiky Bits recommends that they need to get some better warlord traits. A reroll charge aura, and that seems almost, a no-brainer for Grey Knights who are really good at close combat. They should have something like that. But they've always been, kind of slow on the battlefield, so I could see why they wouldn't get it. But I really hope they do get something like reroll charges. Cheaper or better stratagems. They have been known, and again, this was because they came out early in the cycle of codices, right? So a lot of their really good stratagems are considered to be overpointed, right? So if they have some cheaper stratagems and some better stratagems, that would really help. All the point changes, you might have enough CP to use about 3 stratagems all game long. Now, there are a lot of armies out there, especially a lot of the new Space Marine armies, that are just cycling through. And you guys have seen battle reports, I'm sure, where somebody will use up 13 or more command points throughout the entire game, just spending stratagems, combining stacks of 4 stratagems at once, Grey Knights can't do that because there's no way. They don't have any cheap troop choices. So if they had some cheaper stratagems, that would really help out. Arch says, Grey Knights being viable would be amazing. Miniatures Paintbrush says, working on his second wave of crypt goals tonight. I need 40 in total. I would like to have a Grey Knight army one day. Yeah, and there are a lot of points. You could probably knock out a Grey Knight army for cheaper, or for fewer models than, most of your other armies. I'm working on an all-servitor army. That would be so goofy. Ton of salt. Actually, I'm actually not salty about this. I do have some brothers that feel a little attacked. Sorry, Garrett, my brother. So sorry. Whenever I start talking about what needs to be improved or how Grey Knights are not good right now, he feels a little attacked. So specifically, for my bro, I want Grey Knights to be better. And plus, my baby bro wants to get into Grey Knights as well, but he wants to start with kill teams. And Grey Knights are actually great at kill teams right now. So I definitely want to help my baby bro get into Grey Knights. Oh, no, Spiky Bits has a ton of salt. Yeah, Spiky Bits does. They do feel a little salty on the matter. A decent doctrine bonus rule. It would be awesome to get for Grey Knights to make full use of doctrines. That would be great. But they need a sick doctrine bonus. It's funny, because I've mentioned on the show before, and again, I'm not being salty. This is just my assessment. I have yet to experience the benefit of the White Scars Doctrine bonus because, again, it doesn't kick off until Assault Doctrine, right, which is third turn or more. And to be honest, usually by that point of the game, all my good melee stuff is dead, and I have no use for activating the Assault Doctrine when bolters are still going to give me an AP -1. It just, I've played, I think, 6 games with my White Scars now, and just the doctrines are great. Our doctrine bonus feels non-existent for me. So they say hopefully GW doesn't make it like +1 to deny the witch in the Assault Doctrine. yeah, definitely. I feel like no faction should have an Assault Doctrine bonus because it just is going to be so unlikely to come up, I think. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the tournament players have been making a lot of use with veteran intercessors with White Scars and taking a boatload of like 6 squads of veteran intercessors and giving them, with the Shock Assault, with the veterans, and with the Assault Doctrine bonus, having your regular standard intercessors doing a lot of damage. I've seen that. I've seen some tournament players talk about it. But you guys know me. I'm just having 6 squads of regular stock troops on the field just does not sound like a fun game to me. Anyways, so while that's good, maybe they can also go in the direction of giving a full D3 smite by the time the Tactical Doctrine rolls around. That would be great. Actually, I think that would be a really fantastic doctrine for the Grey Knights to have. Getting the full-size smite in one specific doctrine, that seems right up Grey Knight's alley. I think that's a great suggestion. And then, of course, giving them Primaris units. I mean, we definitely see, especially with things like the Repulsor and the Executioner, with aggressors, we all see it. If you really want to buff any Space Marine faction, giving them some Primaris units would be the way to go. The fact that Grey Knights can't take them, and of course I get it. They're supposed to be the secret, quote-unquote, secret Space Marine organization. But, I mean, they're the worst secret right now, right? Everybody knows about Grey Knights. They know about them and know that they're bad. Sorry, Garrett. I didn't mean that, Garrett. I was in your corner, and then it just slipped right out of my mouth. But what I'm saying is that, give them some of this Primaris stuff, and they would definitely... I got to see this weekend that just having one Repulsor in your army really just inflates the amount of firepower your army can chuck out. We all see the power of aggressors. I think that Grey Knights should get some of this badass shit. So I think actually all these suggestions are really good suggestions. Like I said, it's widely known that when you're dealing with spiky bits, you got to take it with a grain of salt. But all of these suggestions here are really legit, I think. Spiky Bits is the devil, almost as bad as Bell of Lost Souls. Grey Knights are amazing in Kill Team, which is really great to hear, because I really, really, really want to do that for my little bro this Christmas. Grey Knights should have a way to gain a CP on a 6+ after your opponent uses a CP. That'd be great. If you don't come into the game with a lot of CP, be able to take them from your opponent. I think that's a great suggestion. Honestly, since Grey Knights themselves aren't very frequently using CP, I would even say that that would have. I feel like it would be good for a 5-up on them. That's just my opinion. So yeah, I felt like this goes with the theme of what do we want on our wish list this holiday for the hobby, and I want Grey Knights to be really good again. That's what I want. Do I play Grey Knights? I don't, but I feel like they could use some love. I think they're such a cool-looking faction, and yeah, that would be a holiday wish list item, I think. So what about you guys? Let me know in the chat, guys, what you guys are thinking about for your holiday wish list items. Now, I know some of you have already made it happen, getting a little holiday action a little early. Some of you have gotten Secret Santas. Some of you have gone to GW stores and participated in their Secret Santa, which is super cool. So some of you have gotten your hobby wish list items early. shout out to Lady Dragon over at the Gamecraft Dragon, who got her holiday hobby wish list item. She got Blood of the Phoenix. Go check out her unboxing. And that's so cool to see. You know, she got some Eldari and some Drukhari units, you know, and she got some of the new stuff too. The new sculpts, like the Howling Banshees and stuff like that. The new characters. I mean, such cool. Go check out her unboxing. And it's so cool that, you know, she's obviously happy as she's opening this box up. And a little playful banter with Big D. I love watching that, you know, the relationship they have on the camera, you know. That playful banter always makes for a good time watching. So if some of you are getting your hobby wish list items knocked out of the way, Miniature Paintbrush wants a Warlord Titan. Right, but the other thing you said you wanted, there's already some holiday wish listing going on there, right? What was that other thing you wanted? I mean, I know, but I'm not going to spill your beans for you. Yeah, TMP got his little bit of his hands in the cookie jar on his holiday wish list. Thomas says he has work in the morning. So good night, y'all. Good night, Thomas. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. So, a couple of my wish list items. I just want to show you guys real quick. And some of y'all may have seen me scroll by it earlier, but I knew I was going to be talking about it, so I grabbed a quick pic of it. So check out this. This is Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger, Age of Sigmar. Now, I don't play Age of Sigmar at the moment, so you guys may find this amusing. You guys know I can't just have what the model's supposed to be for some reason. You know, I got to do something crazy. So I want to use War Gaming with Gary. Morning, mate. Sounds like I got here at the right time. Christmas list time. Yeah. That's awesome. Gary, please feel free to share what you want on your hobby wish list this Christmas. Gamecraft Dragon wants that Wolf Battle Force box. Yeah, you definitely need some wolfing in your life, brother. And you could definitely use the flyer to deliver them. So yeah, that box definitely is right up your alley. Miniatures Paintbrush says, hey, you jinxed my battle report. If you guys don't remember, on when Rob was on the show a couple weeks ago, week before last, I want to say, so I was telling him about my vampire luck and how I tend to roll pretty amazingly. And whenever I'm cheering for somebody in a battle report, they start rolling like trash. Like, you know, failing 2-up armor saves and stuff like that. And, you know, so... Anyways, he said, all right, well, start cheering for me during my next battle report. Go check out his battle report against Mrs. Miniatures Paintbrush on his channel and see if the curse of Methos' vampire luck got to him. A Friday live chat without towel salt is on my list. You know what? There's been no salt so far, so we're going to try and keep it like that way for the rest of the show. In fact, earlier I was talking about how, you know, with the right fan art, I could become a fan of Tao. Especially in the fan art. When Brother Rob asked how I feel about female Tao. Archie says, I got my local to order me one of those Blood Angel Battle Force boxes. That's pretty awesome. That's a heck of a holiday wish list item. So, this Lord Arcanum on Grift Charger. So, of course, I don't play Age of Sigmar, but what I want this for, and I got the idea from Warzone Morlock 40K. And go check out his channel, by the way. He's got some of the most beautiful battle reports on the internet. Honestly, I think, personally, his battle reports are better than some of the big giants in the business. Striking Scorpion, Winters, these guys that have some of the big battle reports. Big battle report channels. I feel like Warzone Warlock 40K has the best looking battle reports. Just my opinion. But he uses this Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger as a chapter master on bike. Now, that sounds perfect for a White Scars army, especially says tribal as White Scars are supposed to be. And so I could see one of these, being ridden on the plains of Chigoris. But I think, especially with the staff and whatnot, I think this would make a really, really great Stormseer or Librarian on bike. And, when you're dealing with a Librarian, of course, dealing with magic or, of course, warp powers, I feel like that would be a good explanation to why this beast is running as fast as, bikes, jet bikes, hover bikes, all that good stuff. And there's no way mine is going to be painted as well as Warzone Warlock 40K's. If you have ever seen his Void Stalkers, they are phenomenally painted. And his chapter master on Griff Charger just looks gorgeous. But even though I'm not going to be able to do as good of a paint job on it, I definitely feel like this would be the right magical steed for my Librarian on bike to ride into battle on. Grumpy Guy Gaming, man. We've had Elstonation tonight. We've had Grumpy Guy Gaming, Wargaming with Gary. We had some pretty epic legends. Rob over at the TMP, Gamecraft Dragon. We have some pretty epic legends in the chat tonight, guys. That's pretty awesome. Good morning, Grumpy, my man. Guys, we have an unboxing coming for you. A nice little early Christmas gift from Grumpy Guy Gaming. Donated a bunch of terrain to the channel. And you'll also be able to see that terrain in use during our little coffee table battle report. I was mentioning earlier, if you guys weren't here for the hobby update, what happened is that Freak and I had a game this weekend. We're going to do a big battle report, our last battle report of the year like we usually do. But man, this past Saturday, every game store in the area was booked solid. Not one table open, which is great to see, the hobby in action all over town. However, that left us with nowhere to play. So we weren't able to use a full-size table. We came back to my place and ended up having to play a casual battle report on a coffee table, which is cool, so it's less of a full-size battle report and more of, two bros hanging out and playing a game of 40K, in my living room. So, but again, I don't have a ton of terrain here at the house until I unboxed this amazing gift from Grumpy Guy Gaming, and it's a full size set of, like it would be enough. We actually had to take some off of the coffee table because he provided enough terrain to the channel to fill a 6x4 table. It was fantastic. So really, really cool stuff. And we have an unboxing for that. You'll be able to see that soon too. Wargaming Gary says for his hobby wish list, he says lots of historical stuff, but for the first time, I have put Space Marines on my list. I hope they don't end up getting me a Royal Marine. That is awesome, Gary. Good to see that you are getting into some Space Marines. That's going to be really cool to see. And I love watching your paint stuff all over on your channel, and your painted work always looks good. So I can't wait to see you paint some Space Marines up. Roxas says some Shadow Sun action. Are we talking about the fan art again? So yeah, that is my number one hobby item on my list. Is I want to turn one of these Lord Arcanum on Griff Chargers into my Librarian on bike. A couple other things that I thought of after I did my Christmas list was, of course, anything Age of Sigmar related would be cool. Army Painter just released a wet palette, and Brother Archer there, our Smash Captain in the chat, says that the new Army Painter wet palette is awesome. So I might look into getting those at one point. Just all kinds of cool stuff. And of course, if we're really being wishful, right? I know the likelihood because the box set sold out in like 5 minutes. And of course, the box set is ridiculously like, $200 and something dollars. $220 I want to say. But yeah, Sisters of Battle, the new Sisters of Battle stuff would be amazing. or Raging Hero Sisters of Battle stuff like their Davidians. Oh man, I really want to sell the Davidians so bad. But those are all the things on my wish list. Yeah, that stuff would be really, really cool. The Davidians, oh man, I can't remember what they're called, but the Davidians are meant to be the Sisters of Battle ladies who are, they're stripped of their armor and they carry the giant eviscerator chain swords. And to me, the Davidians just make the best models of those. Grumpy says, glad you like the terrain. Yeah, it made for a really great looking board this past Saturday. And we've been using, you guys have seen our battle reports before, we've been using the cardboard buildings, office buildings in our battle reports from Drop Zone something or other. And, but, definitely helped us spruce up our table. And, it's really cool new stuff. My local store still has one of the new Sisters boxes. That's crazy. Every store in my area was suddenly, instantly, and immediately sold out. In fact, when we were shopping around, or when we were at the game stores, trying to find a table the other day with Freak and I just casually was kind of asking them while I was there, "You guys don't happen to have any of those Sisters boxes, do you?" And everybody was like, "Nope." They were gone as soon as we got them. So, Roxas says, I wonder how many went to resellers. I think, guys, that is a very, very prevalent problem in the hobby. And actually, that's a little something I'm happy to talk about. Actually, I think it's a good topic. So, do you guys think that that's a problem in the hobby? Every time, like GW does these new releases all the time, they're always limited quantities. But I gotta say, they're always limited releases, and a huge, huge chunk of them are suddenly and instantly and immediately bought out by resellers, and they go up on eBay for like double the price. And it makes it so hard to get the stuff you want in the hobby. And I know it's not just in the gaming industry that this happens to, but man, am I feeling it. But it happens like that stuff with, of course, video games and one of my other hobbies. And whenever there's like a collector's edition or something that comes out, I mean, we've seen this in Final Fantasy. I've been raiding with my fam in the Final Fantasy guild we have. Us as a fam, we have our own little guild. And every time one of the next edition comes out, we try and get a bunch of collector's edition. And almost every time, it's immediately sold out, and you can find thousands of copies bootleg on eBay, for like double, triple the price. I want a couple of Forge World Dreads for my Sick Boys, his Death Guard, and my Wolves, some Thunderwolf Cavalry, and a Dark Imperium starter box. Man, so those are really cool things to put on your list, my brother. I'm really proud because for the last 2 years, I've said during our New Year's, discussion about what we want to accomplish this year, I've put painting my Dark Imperium stuff on my list 2 years in a row. And at this point now, I actually only have my Ancient, which I'm not painting my Ultramarines right now, and it's kind of pointless to put into a White Scars army, and a Primaris Captain. And I'm on the fence about whether I want that. I think I want that to go with my Ultras as well. But I've painted up everything else in the box this year, so I think I've done good. I can't quite check the box there. But I mean, I paint whatever I'm inspired to at the time, and I'm just not feeling my Ultras right now because I'm really digging my White Scars. Miniatures Paintbrushes says, I'll get you a link to a store that still has Sisters box with free shipping and reasonable prices after the show, my brother. Well, that doesn't do me any good right now, my brother. I really appreciate it, but right now it's Christmas time and I'm spending for other people. But I appreciate the thought, my brother. Don't tempt me with the dark side. All of a sudden after the show, just you guys see my credit card steaming, molten plastic dripping off bright red like lava, dripping onto my keyboard. Roxas, no, you're supposed to help me be strong. That's what family's for, brother. He has in all capital letters, tempt him. Roxas says, I will betray you. That is his tagline, guys. You know you want it. Y'all know I want it. No, this is Christmas time, guys. I'm supposed to be buying for other people. All right, so I actually, man, no wonder I have a new appreciation for what Freak does during the show, because I'm just sitting there happily painting along the whole show, and he's running all this magic behind the camera. I'm only doing half of what he normally does during the show, and I haven't gotten a lick. I've wet my paintbrush a couple of times. I have yet to put it to a model. It's just, operating all the gears and the cranes behind the scene for the curtain to rise and fall. Man, I just have not had a chance to get anything painted tonight. So, running a show is work for sure. Yeah, no, I think I take for granted how much I usually get painted during the show, because he's doing all the work for me. Gamecraft Dragon says, that's what I did. I bought stuff for everyone else, and I didn't get much hobby-wise. Yeah, we make the sacrifices this time of year. And then, if you're like me, you just hope it's still around after you pay the Christmas bills. Especially since right after Christmas it's rent week. Y'all know that life. All right, guys. So, I have never thought to ask Freak what music he uses for the 100% Elstonation Fact of the Week. So, yeah. That, I'm suddenly realizing right now. But guys, as we have had researchers, historians, scientists, real life actual scientists, guys, track down this information, I'm going to have to do my best to bring you the 100% true Elstonation fact this week, even if I don't have his awesome music to boot. Wow, that's so late, Garrett. Man, I stuck up for you a lot of that article, man. I really did. I want them to be good for you. That's one of the things I put on my hobby wish list this Christmas. So there's a lot of changes they talked about, and the chapter approved points is a great place to start. I really I really hope that, try playing them now. Maybe the chapter approved points is enough to bring them back into a playable state. Do they need more? Oh, chapter approved points plus them getting shock assault, right? That extra attack anytime you charge or are charged or make a heroic intervention, So, think about your entire Grey Knight's army getting an extra attack with those power swords, with those halberds. No, wait, I got all your halberds. But yeah, with all their awesome weapons, it's Thunderhammers, extra attack, man. So I think between the points and getting the extra shock assault, that's a good step towards them getting making Grey Knights good again. And let's see what they come out with. If they get some good doctrines, some better warlord traits, stratagems, you might be on the right track, Garrett. All right, I got so sidetracked, guys. What were we talking about? Man, Garrett got me all thrown off. Babe, you remember what I was talking about just a minute ago? Certain facts. Oh, thank you. All right, guys. Elstonation facts. Thank you, Grumpy. All right, so guys, I only have one song. You guys are probably tired of it by now. I only have one song loaded up into this chat, so we're going to go with, the same song for the Elstonation Fact of the Week. I want to say this is number 28. Freak will correct me if I'm wrong. But 100% true, Elstonation Fact number 28. Children around the world this time of year can put out their stockings, or in some countries, like Germany, even their shoes, set them out, and if they've been a good boy or girl all year, they will get treats, presents, toys, filling their stockings and shoes in the morning. However, little known fact is that on Christmas Eve, if you leave out your pot you use for paint water, set that out, and if you've been a good hobbyist all year, a very, very good hobbyist, you never know. Elstonation might actually leave you a golden demon painted model in that cup. Now, I've never been a good enough hobbyist, but if you've been a good hobbyist all year, you may want to try setting out your paint water pot this year. And that right there is our 100% true Elstonation Fact number 28. Join us again next week when we have 100% true Elstonation Fact number 29. And I'll be interested to see, when we come back, you guys will have to let me know in the chat if you've been a good hobbyist. All right, guys, so closing thoughts. Talked about hobby wish lists. And I definitely am keeping on my list that I want good things for the Grey Knights in 2020. That's one of my hobby wish list items. I want this Christmas miracle. Okay. I'm hoping as I read through Chapter Approved that the changes are going to be enough to make Grey Knights good, but I also hope their next codex brings them something amazing. Okay. My hobby wish list items include the Lord Arcanum on Griff Charger. Shout out to Morlock Warzone 40k for his beautifully painted Chapter Master on that Griff Charger, because I think it would make a phenomenal librarian on bike. Okay, some Sisters of Battle stuff's definitely on my list. And I've definitely enjoyed seeing what everybody else put on their wish list in the comments section. Some very cool hobby wish list items here, and I hope that all of you get some really, really, really awesome stuff. I hope you get your wish list items this holiday season. Plus, I know it's not all about the gifts, guys. I really hope that over this Christmas season, you guys have a phenomenal time with your friends and family, right? And that you experience some of that Christmas miracles that are made, when we bond with other people. I hope that you guys get all of that this holiday season, right? All the warmth, all the good vibes, all that holiday spirit. I hope that goes to each and every one of you this holiday season. And Freak is out rehearsing for a holiday production right now, but I know he would want you to feel those Christmas miracles too, man. If you guys liked tonight's show, then please make sure that you not only hit that like button, but I always get the side wrong. If you feel like supporting us in any way, check out our Patreon and see the kinds of things we offer there. It has been slow with all the Christmas craziness going on, but we will get back to posting on that pretty soon. Shout out to everybody who was in the chat with us. We had some absolute legends in the chat. Grumpy Guy Gaming, the Miniatures Paintbrush, Ward Gaming with Gary. I always see his comments after the show, but it's awesome that he managed to make the show for once tonight. Great to have you, Gary. Brother Archer, our awesome Raven Guard Smash Captain in the chat here. Brother Roxas and Brother Garrett here in the chat while I'm talking smack. No, actually, I'm not talking smack, man. Like I said, I want the Grey Knights to be good for you in 2020. Big D and the Gamecraft Dragon. The Miniatures Paintbrush. Tempting me with those Sisters of Battle. We had Brother Thomas who went to bed because he's got to get up and work 342 hours this week. So he's got to get his rest on. Right? We had Oni Studio, who has been here a good chunk of the night, man. And X-Gear Commander. Really great having you guys with us. Elstonation and Running Bear were in the chat. Man, that was awesome. Inquisitor Zane. Man, I was closing it out. You didn't have to kick me off. Dropped frames, 500%. Wait, no, don't do that. All right, please. Okay, now I'm back to yellow. Now I'm back to red. That is the opposite direction you were supposed to go in. There we go, back to green. Please, just let me close out my show. Please. Almost. Slow motion. That is an impossible amount of hours. You know, I say all the time, I'm the Asian who's bad at math, so it works for me. Internet hates you. I know. Right at the end, I'm just like, just let me close out my show, please. Brother Rob says, customize your Sisters of Battle with bathing suits. Wink, wink. That's a good idea. Shout out to our patrons who do support the channel. We've got Brother Jake over at Chief Live Gaming coming in at the Blood Claw level. We've got our Grey Hunters, Brother Roxas and Inquisitor Zane. Really awesome Grey Hunters. And we've got the bad man himself, our Raven Guard Smash Captain, Wolfguard Archer. Appreciate our patrons really helping us do what we do. And who knows, maybe eventually, we'll be able to upgrade this so maybe, the internet won't hate me so much when I'm trying this live stream thing. But thank you guys, everybody, for supporting us tonight. If you guys liked tonight's episode, even if it was a lone wolf night, then make sure that you grab up an axe and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. If you guys are watching in the archives, drop us some comments down below. And feel free to be part of any of these crazy conversations. And Big D will be live on the 24th. So that way, feel free to go join Gamecraft Dragons live stream on the 24th. He's doing a Christmas Eve live chat. I did a grade night birthday card Photoshop for Brother Garrett with him wearing his baseball cap. So he's still waiting for me to convert a Space Marine with a baseball cap on. I might need help from one of you guys who are awesome with green stuff to help me make that conversion. If you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel, then Freakalicious, who is out being part of the Christmas Miracle tonight, and I would love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.